The Ford High School Game of the Week is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers, the best in Oklahoma. MidFirst Bank, true to your money. The Oklahoma Farm Bureau, the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better. Mill Creek Carpet and Tile. Mazzios. And by Weoki Credit Union.
And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Game Time on YurView. High school football here tonight in the Oklahoma City area. It'll be the Oklahoma City Saints taking on Pauls Valley's Panthers. My name's Steve Marshall. Brian Burchell is alongside. These two teams, Brian, will be playing their second game of the year. They were both in action last week. Neither one fared too well.
No, they didn't, Steve, but both teams were playing against, state championship-type contending teams. Pauls Valley losing to Washington and OCS losing to Jones. Jones and Washington powerhouses at the 3A level every season. So both teams looking to get back to 500 on the season tonight, and I think both teams probably feel like this is a winnable ball game.
All right, so it's OCS and it's Pauls Valley. It's your Game Time Game of the Week brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers here on YurView. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get ready to get the starting lineups. Not too far away from kickoff. Stay with us here on your Oklahoma Ford dealers Game of the Week.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Get 0% for 60 months on the smartest, most capable trucks. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on F-Series, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazzios medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your two favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazzios.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
Because practice pays off. Because it's better to give than to receive. Because there's no place like home. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with innovative services that let you focus on what's most important. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazzios medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your two favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazzios.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event, offering 0% for 60 months on the brand with the highest owner loyalty. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on all Ford cars, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Because an open road is always calling your name. Because life is sweet. Because every moment counts. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money. With convenient services that help you maximize the joys in life. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
And welcome back to OCS, Oklahoma Christian School. We're at Saints Stadium here this evening for your Game Time Game of the Week, brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. We've had the playing of the national anthem. Both teams getting ready to run out of their respective blow-up mascot that they have here that the teams both run through. Pauls Valley has already come through theirs. Oklahoma Christian about to do the same thing there. OCS is a team that has gone 3-8 the last 2 years, but before that, they had quite a run as they were state champions back in 2012 and runners-up back in 2014. They were last year. As we said, they were 3-8, and as Brian mentioned, they lost to Jones last week, 38-6 in their season opener. They're picked third in Class 3A1, so considered to be right there on the fringe of a playoff team. For Pauls Valley, they were 6-6 last year. It was the first time that they had won 2 playoff games in a good number of years. Matt Weber is their head coach. He was 11-12 these last 2 years. They lost to Washington last week, 35-7. Washington rated number 8 in Class 3A football. So we have two similar teams. Pauls Valley in 3A4, they were picked to finish in third. So knowing that 3A4 and 3A1 would play each other, there's a good chance these two teams can meet up in the playoffs again.
They could, and both teams picked, like you mentioned, third in their respective districts. So a pair of teams that I believe will be evenly matched. It'll be interesting to see, what happens early on. In high school, Steve, it's interesting to me when you've got to travel, over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, which Pauls Valley had to do here. I think the beginning of the game in those situations is very interesting. So it'll be neat to see how Pauls Valley gets out. Of course, OCS playing their first home game of the year, so they'll be fired up. So I think the key for Pauls Valley early, at least, is to match the intensity of OCS and maybe try to have to weather an early storm.
Speaking of weather, what kind of fabulous weather have we had the last couple of weeks? It was just absolutely perfect for our game last night. Much the same this evening. A little bit of a light breeze blowing out there, but as we look at the ribbons up around the uprights on the goalpost, they are standing still. So on the field, not much wind at all. OCS won the toss. They elected to kick it away. Pauls Valley will take it. They're in the white uniforms with the maroon red tops, and of course OCS in their powder blues with the gray pants, going from your right to your left.
Yeah, weather not going to be a factor at all tonight. As you mentioned, gorgeous in the mid to low 80s and no wind to speak of. So just absolute favorable playing conditions for the first day of September. Can't remember a time, Steve, where the first two kickoffs it was under 90 degrees in the first 2 weeks of high school football. Just absolutely incredible.
So OCS is set to kick it away. Taking care of those duties will be number 44, and I don't have a 44 on my roster.
I don't either. They're throwing us off already.
That's. So we'll see how that plays. Both teams getting ready to go. And the kick is away. Line drive kick towards the right corner. Taken there by Pauls Valley. Return man with a nice return. Gets it out across the 35-yard line. That's Jared Perry. And he gets it out to, let's call it the 36-yard line, and that'll set up 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Will Kubasek finally brought him down, the safety for OCS. And Pauls Valley will start out, looks like, with trips wide receiver, Steve, and 2 running backs in the backfield. So no tight end. They're going to go trips with 2 running backs.
Jack Grimmett is the quarterback, threw for 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns last year. He takes over the quarterback position. Handoff starts off to the right side, then cut back towards the middle. Fighting hard to get just about 2 or 3 yards on the carry is number 5 for Pauls Valley, and that's Kyrie Harding.
Really impressive run by Kyrie. He was hit in the backfield 2 yards deep, shed 2 or 3 tacklers before it took 3 Saints to bring him down. So Harding picks up 2 to 3 on a carry that really should have been -2. So inside draw there to start, and we'll see what Paul's Valley does as they play out of the pistol formation.
2nd down and 8. Had some movement on the front line. A flag comes out from our line judge. Looks like it's going to be encroachment called against OCS, and that'll help the cause for Pauls Valley.
And if you're not familiar with the high school game, or you watch a lot of college and NFL football, you notice if all it takes is a defensive player to jump in high school football, if they jump across the line, even if they get back, that's automatic offside. You don't have to force the lineman to move. As soon as you cross that plane, it's offsides immediately.
2nd and 2, short pass, complete near side. That'll be good enough for a first down. Pass completed out there to number 13. That's Dalton Morse, senior wide receiver. First down for the Panthers.
Great job there. Just a quick drop. Knowing where the sticks was Morse, and putting it on the money was Jack Grimmett. So Grimmett with his first completion of the game, and Pauls Valley gets a first down and off to a good start.
From their own 49-yard line. Move Harding to the right side of the quarterback. Keeper this time, straight up the middle. Nice hole, first down yardage inside the 40 as Grimmett kept it. Fooled the defense, and he gets enough for a first down all the way down to the 39-yard line in OCS territory.
Excellent read by Grimmett. Makes the linebacker miss, and before you know it, he's in the secondary. And if the OCS defensive backs have got to continue making tackles, it could be a long night for them trying to stop the run.
So a new set of downs now from the 39-yard line as Grimmett drops the pass. Here comes the blitz. He's in trouble, and he's sacked. All the way back at the 47-yard line, OCS came with the blitz, and they got him.
Mason Arnold was the first to get there, teaming up with Blaine Franklin, the sophomore, and they do a good job of bringing down the quarterback. It is going to be a 7-yard loss, so big loss there for Pauls Valley behind the chains, and now it'll be up to Grimmett to try to get things going and get them back on schedule here after 2nd down.
2nd down and 18 now for the Panthers. Inside OCS territory, out of the gun, dropping to throw. Quick little wide receiver screen. Almost looked like he was being tackled before the ball got there.
Great job out in the secondary. Yeah, if the cornerback there realizes that the ball's in the air, he probably could have picked it and scored going the other way. But because there was a screen pass behind the line of scrimmage, there was no interference there. And so a good play by the defense, and now 3rd and 17. So, Pauls Valley just going to gain some positive yardage to try to pin her deep.
See what they call here. Play clock just got started, so plenty of time to talk it over, signal it over with the coaches on the far side of the field. Play clock now to 10. 3rd down and 18. Panthers. Grimmett. Blitz from the weak side.
Ball's on the ground.
It's out loose, and it looked like OCS was there. All we're waiting is for the official call. Saints say they got it. Still waiting for the referee's call, and he says yes, indeed. It was the blitz from the weak side. You saw it. You called it.
Yeah, Bobby Chapman coming on the backside. The blitz from the backside. Quarterback never saw him. Ball loose. That's big there because Pauls Valley, we talked about weathering early storms. Even if they don't pick up a first down there, they're going to be able to pin OCS deep with a punt. Instead, they turn it over. OCS now has it with momentum and plus field position, and so the Pauls Valley defense has got to come out and get a stop of their own. But a great blitz on the backside by Bobby Chapman, forcing the ball loose, and it was recovered by Big 54, Caleb Rogers.
Start the drive inside Pauls Valley territory.
Big hole.
And off right side. Nice gain there. Mason Arnold with the carry. And he's out close.
He's got it, I believe.
I believe he does have first down yardage. That's the way you like to start the game on your very first carry.
Yeah, the offensive line did a really good job, created a big hole. He bounced off the first tackle. Tell you what, Mason Arnold, good-looking kid, built very well. Tall, athletic-looking kid. So appears he's going to be someone that's going to be tough to bring down.
Arnold again. This time the Panthers are there, and they're going to drop him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2 or 3 on the play. So both offenses showing a little sign here and there, but defense has come up big on a couple of occasions, especially on the fumble recovery.
Caitlin Halverson's the quarterback here for OCS. He'll call the signals tonight, Steve.
2nd and 12 as he now checks with the sideline. Halverson, quick toss out of the backfield. Pass caught, nice block downfield. And that's going to be close enough again for first down yardage. Blake Curtin on the reception, and he's got first down yardage.
Excellent job there by Chapman, the guy who caused the fumble on the sack. He did a great job pinning the defensive back inside, so Curtin could get outside, because if Curtin has to cut that back up inside, the linebacker was pursuing. So great job there to seal the defender, and Curtin does a great job getting around the edge and picking up first down yardage. So OCS gets behind the chains early and immediately gets it right back and gets a new set of downs.
Second first down on the drive that started at the Pauls Valley 44 after a fumble and a quarterback sack. Here's Arnold straight off the left side. Shows his power running as he gets it down inside the 20. That'll leave them about 5 yards still to get for the next play.
Arnold, a physical running back, as you can see there. The first guy having trouble bringing him down again. So 2nd and 5 gives OCS a lot of options here on 2nd down, and first time inside the red zone this evening.
Halverson is the quarterback. Fumble on the exchange. Handing the ball off there to number 23, Jackson Kennard. Lost the handle. Lost about a yard in the play.
Sophomore with his first chance of the game. Mishandles, and sometimes on those quarterback reads, you're not sure if you're going to get it or not get it. So ball hits the ground, but a great job there by Kennard, not trying to do anything crazy, Steve. Rather than trying to pick it up and make something of it, the sophomore just wisely falls on top of it and lives to fight another down. 3rd and 6 is still very doable for the Saints.
Mason Arnold is in the backfield with the quarterback, Kalen Halverson. Stands still, plants, throws, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver there, number 29. That was Jance Sinclair. Looked like he was falling as he was trying to make the catch at the same time. Didn't work out for him.
Yeah, stumbled out of his route. I thought the throw was good there by Halverson. It was on the money to the outside, but it looked like you said, it looks like starting to stumble was the receiver, and Sinclair losing his footing and unable to grab the ball would have been first down yardage. So Halverson and the Saints now, Steve, going for it on the first 4th down at 4th and 6th. Yeah, we got a flag. It looks like the wide receiver who just dropped the ball jumped, and he's going to be caught for a false start.
So moving back 5 more yards, and that's going to make it 4th down and 11. First possession for OCS. Pauls Valley opened the game. They had the football first, drove and got a first down, but then fumbled on a quarterback sack. That gave the ball over to OCS, and this is 4th down in that original drive for the Saints.
An opportunity for a big stop by Pauls Valley, as you mentioned, Steve, turning it over in plus territory. A lot of times teams are able to put points on the board, but a chance here for Pauls Valley to get the ball back.
Play action, wide open over the middle. First down yardage and then some. That looked too easy. Bobby Chapman on the reception. He found a crease, and he got wide open.
Chapman, the guy, as we mentioned, forced the turnover on the sack. He had the big block earlier on the 2nd and 15 to pick up a first down, and there catches the ball. That's a play you saw Baylor run a lot last year, where they would spread the field out and release that tight end. Looks like he's going to block, kind of playing for the fans here in the state, that cowboy back position, and releases down the middle of the field. Now, you're right. That was an easy pitch and catch, nobody around.
First and goal now, the line of scrimmage at the 9-yard line. They cannot get a first down. Here's Arnold with the give. Right side, bounces off, hit, and dropped. He doesn't look like he maybe lost a little bit of the way they were spotting it, Brian.
Yeah, they got him just behind line of scrimmage there at the 5, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. And tell you what, other than the 2 runs, Arnold kind of shook a tackle or two. Pauls Valley's done a really good job containing him. If the first guys made contact with him every time within a couple yards of the line of scrimmage, when they wrap up like they had the last couple rushes, they've kept him under wraps pretty good as we were just past the halfway mark of the first quarter.
Right side,
wide
throws,
open.
End zone, tipped and deflected right to the recipient who grabs it. Austin Fritz in the end zone for the touchdown for the Saints.
Yeah, it was open in the back of the end zone. A great job by the linebacker to get his hands on it, but unable to deflect it too much as Fritz pulls it down. And OCS on the board with their first 6. and will look to. Oh, they're going to go for two, it looks like. Or are they putting? No, they're in a kicking formation. I can't tell if they're in a. That's quarterback and running back, so they're going to.
Looks like the swinging gate.
Yeah, they do some sort of funky formation, but there's no kicker on the field. Let's see what they do here.
Going to keep it and roll it himself. Halverson looking, throwing back of the end zone, incomplete. And that means this drive and this possession is over. But it does result in 6 points for the Saints. Touchdown reception by Austin Fritz from 9 yards out at the 5:47 mark. Our score right now, OCS leads it 6-0 on Game Time right here on YurView. We'll be back.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
Welcome back, everybody, as you see the midfield of Saints Field here at Oklahoma Christian School. The Saints get on the board first. Austin Fritz catching the 9-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback, Kalen Halverson. Extra point was no good, and so the Saints are on top here, 6-0. Each team has had the ball once. We've seen a little bit of what they can do, what they need to get better at doing, and for Pauls Valley, really, it's just a matter of turning the football over. Otherwise, we're pretty much even up.
True. Twice OCS has dialed up some blitzes, and twice they've gotten to the quarterback, once for an 8-yard loss, the other time for a sack and fumble that led to the score. So Pauls Valley has got to clean up the issues with the offensive line and recognizing blitzes. They were successful on their other offensive plays. For OCS, they kind of just 3 yards in a cloud of dust down the field, except for that 4th down pass to Chapman, which was their only big play of the drive.
So they'll kick it away once again. OCS, good foot into it, far right side of the field, taken at the 8-yard line. Running it back up towards the middle. Big collision right there at the 27-yard line. Somebody took a pretty good lick right there, and that's where they'll put it in play, 1st and 10. Mark it right at the 27-yard line for the Panthers.
Pauls Valley not quite the same starting position as last time, but they were able to move the ball up near the midfield stripe before a pair of sacks derailed their first possession. Be interesting to see what they do here back in the pistol formation. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and again, OCS on the hard count, Steve, jumps offside. So Pauls Valley, realizing that, has done 2 hard counts, and they've moved 5 yards each time.
So moving forward rather. 1st and 5 for the Panthers. Handoff coming near side of the field. Cuts it back, looking for some running room is Kyrie Harding. And, boy, he's one of those guys that every time he touches the ball, you think he has that possibility to go all the way.
Sure does. That was another rush that didn't look like it had a whole lot, but he got speed to the outside. Great job cutting it back inside. Real slithery. Tough, looks like, to get a hold of him, and he picks up the 1st down with 5+ yards, and Pauls Valley again with 1st down, and again moving it near midfield. Another hard count. OCS jumps. Again, the flag didn't come out, although I thought he may have crossed the line of scrimmage. OCS is going to have to be careful being too aggressive on that defensive line.
1st and 10. Little run by the quarterback. That just didn't look good from the start.
Run blitz off the outside for OCS, and there was Parker Fitch coming from his outside linebacker position to meet the quarterback. And, they brought the run blitz from the side they were trying to run the quarterback read to, and so both the running back and the quarterback were accounted for and nowhere to go. Looks like OCS is playing a 3-4 on defense.
2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. In motion to the left side, going to roll it that way and look downfield.
Another blitz.
Gets the dump-off pass. Short gain on the play. Going to get about 5, maybe 6 yards. That'll get some of that yardage back, but still leave it with a 3rd down and about 4.
Blitz came from the short side of the field, and they rolled out left, which was to the benefit. The backside blitzer still almost got home. And number 2, Blake Curtin, off the corner edge, but able to get the pass away was Grimmett, and now they put themselves in a 3rd and manageable at, as you mentioned, about 3rd and 4 here, with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
7 on the play clock. Grimmett looks downfield, steps up in the pocket, still looking, now turns the runner, and he's going to lose a couple yards on the play. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Good coverage downfield first for OCS, and then good pursuit, making sure they get the quarterback and wrap them up.
Excellent job by Jake Rice. As he was pursuing the first time, the tackle ushered him on by the quarterback. He was 5 yards past the play. Doesn't give up, runs back into the play, and as the quarterback, Grimmett, tried to scramble, he ran right into the arms of Rice, who gets his first sack of the night in 4th and 5. The Panthers are going to have to punt it away. Back to the Saints.
Stalled on offense once again. High punt. Return man comes up, fields it on the run. If you can do that, that usually means good things can happen, and he's going to go down the sideline. No flags in the play. Nobody said he stepped out into the end zone. Touchdown, Will Kubicek.
Excellent job by Kubicek, as you mentioned, able to catch the ball on the run. Avoids the first 3 guys downfield. There was a pack of 3 Panthers. He got around those guys. A great job by one of his blockers. At the very end, his blocker was about to throw a block in the back, realized the defender had turned, keeps his hands off. Kubicek was able to avoid that tackler, and from there on, it was nothing but green grass and end zone ahead.
At the 2:43 mark, now in for the extra point. Halverson, the quarterback, is there, as well as Kubicek, and then also Mason Arnold. Last time they tried a passing play. Looks like they're going to do something similar here. Put the man in motion, give it to him on the jet sweep, and he gets hit and dropped. That was a great tackle.
Great tackle there by number 3, Jared Perry. So Perry stops on another 2-point conversion, but nonetheless, the Saints, with a 72-yard punt return by Will Kubicek, lead 12-0 with 2:43 to go in the first.
Your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. It's game time on YurView. We'll take a timeout and be right back.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Get 0% for 60 months on the smartest, most capable trucks. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on F-Series, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Back at Saints Field at Oklahoma Christian School, the Saints capitalize again, this time on a special teams play, as Will Kubicek came up and fielded the punt, really with pretty much a full steam of gas going forward. By the time he caught the punt, he'd already passed 3 of the defenders on special teams, and then made a nice move along the sideline, skipped outside, and then took it to the house the rest of the way, and it's a 12-0 lead right now for the Saints over the Panthers. Good crowd on hand here tonight.
Very nice crowd.
And if you're watching and just stumbled across this and you'd like to let some relatives know that grandson, nephew, relative, whomever is live on the air right now, make sure you share it with them and tell them to go to YurView.com. Look for the Oklahoma section, and you can find the game streaming live there. All right, they'll try and kick it once again. Good foot all the way back, and that one's going to go into the end zone. No return on that one, so they'll start at their own 20-yard line. That's an unforgotten weapon. If you can always put the kick off in the end zone, obviously that's going to make for no returns, and that takes a little bit of the angst away from the special teams coach.
Absolutely. In high school, if the returner even steps foot in the end zone or the ball crosses the plane, it's a touchback. And Pauls Valley, who's had a good starting position its first couple drives, now backed up to their own 20 and down 12-0. Certainly a drive where on the road you need to get points or at least get a positive drive and not let this thing get out of hand.
Hard count once again, trying to draw OCS off sides. It's worked before. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Man-to-man coverage on the wideouts, and now a timeout's going to be called.
Yeah, you're right about the man-to-man coverage. Other than the two outside wide receivers, all 9 other guys were inside the tackles and within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. So OCS is definitely daring Pauls Valley to try to have to beat them deep.
Saints have gotten a good pass rush. Of course, they got the pass rush that resulted in the hit on the quarterback that forced a fumble. That led to 6 points. Very first drive, Pauls Valley moved the football, got it across midfield, but the drive stalled and then the fumble.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Pauls Valley, you've got to feel like it's been three actually, big plays. They did a pretty good job against the offense the first possession, had the 4th and 11 that they allowed converted, the sack, fumble, and the punt return. I mean, other than those 3 big plays, I mean, they've been pretty even. But sometimes it's big plays that make a difference in a football game. But I'm only saying that, Steve, to say I don't feel like that OCS has outclassed Pauls Valley by any means so far. It's just been they've been able to make the big plays early on this ball game.
And haven't made any mistakes to this
Correct.
point. So 1st and 10 again for the Panthers. Line of scrimmage from their own 20-yard line. Handoff going left side, breaking the tackle and getting good yardage out for about an 8 or 9 yard gain on the play. Kyrie Harding, just a junior.
I know you're down 12-0, but I feel like when he's touched the ball, as you mentioned, has a threat to break it away. I think this is one of those series maybe where you just give him the ball, make him your workhorse, see how far you can take him. You don't overthink this drive. Don't try to do too much here. They're bringing pressure off the edge. Keep running the ball up the middle and make them stop Harding, who's been your best player easily through the first quarter of action.
Jack Grimmett is the quarterback. He'll hand again. Irving, left side. He'll get first down yardage. Harding, rather.
Got that NBA trade on your mind.
I do. Got Kyrie going and so first down for the Panthers. As we go under 2 minutes left to play here in this first quarter. Week 2 of the high school football season. Lots of big games going on. We'll try to keep updated with some of the scores from across the state. Here's Grimmett, quick out pass, caught, immediately hit. Reception made there by Tyler Thompson.
In high school, Steve, I know the clock stops after a first down, but doesn't it restart after the ball is set, or do they wait till the snap?
I believe it's when the ball is set.
Yeah,
it's running now.
Yeah, they didn't start on that last drive, so I wasn't sure. I wanted to ask, so.
Yeah, that's something that needs to change in college football. That
yes, they've got to let it run like in the NFL.
Yeah,
with the way the offenses are, I mean, it's just way too many plays and possessions in the college game right now.
We're going to take a timeout, return to our coverage here of Game Time on YurView. Stay with us.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
Score here is 12-0. It's OCS on top of Pauls Valley. Panthers in a timeout right now, looking at a second down and call it 6 from their own 37-yard line.
Done a good job this drive. They're going to Kyrie Harding 3 times. He's picked up positive yards, and Grimmett is 1 for 1 on the drive as well, completing his pass out to Tyler Thompson. So I think that's the key for Pauls Valley is not get behind the chains, continue to pick up 3, 4, 5 yards of play. And if they can avoid the negative plays, they've shown the ability to move forward with some consistency.
Saints show blitz.
Great read there.
Pulled it back, kept it himself, did Grimmett. He gets a nice carry and gets out where you got a manageable first down now.
3rd down, I believe, 2. But as you mentioned, a great read, an excellent job there to stay home by a guy's name we've called a lot, Bobby Chapman. If he's not there in position, Grimmett may still be running.
So 3rd down, really a long one. Substitutions coming in from the sidelines. Play clock already down to 10. Quick setup, quick snap. Flag comes out.
I don't believe he was set. That's a really good formation, too. OCS was offside, so they're going to get the first down. But you see that a lot in college these days where teams will huddle and they'll quickly break into some sort of power formation like that and snap it super quick. OCS wasn't ready, and Grimmett was going to pick up the first down and more. So maybe a break for OCS. Looked like he was about to break a tackle, and had he broke that tackle, he would have scored. So a break for OCS maybe there that they were offside.
So 1st and 10 now from their own 47-yard line. Grimmett takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes deep down the middle of the field, has a receiver, had it, popped out, went off of his knee and was nearly caught by his teammate. That was a crazy-looking play.
Yeah, he went up and got the ball. He absorbed the hit from Kubicek, kept the ball high in the air, and as he was bringing it down, Ben Smith, the safety, came in, and the ball hit the helmet of Smith, and as you mentioned, that's when it ricocheted back into his knee, and boy, that would have been a heck of a catch, a heck of an effort there by Thomas Davenport as it was. That was a beautifully thrown ball by Grimmett. He threw it high where only his receiver could make a play. Unfortunate not to grab a completion.
2nd down and 10 now. Grimmett gets the call from the sidelines. Harding to his left. Runs it right. Harding gets it, keeps it, hit. But going forward, as he always is, he's still going to manage 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, Harding, a good running back so far, has fallen forward every time he's had it, 4 yards. Tell you what, the Pauls Valley offensive line's been pretty good. They've moved the line forward on all rushes. It's taken OCS bringing 5 and 6 and 7 guys to get to the quarterback. So they got some beef up there. You look at the center, the right guard, and the right tackle are all good-sized boys. Big 55 there at left tackle.
Yeah.
So 4 of their 5 linemen are pretty beefy, and you know, OCS a bit undersized on the defensive line there.
Grimmett, quarterback draw. Keeps it himself up the middle. He'll get 2 yards at the most, and that'll be the final play of our first quarter here from Saint Stadium at Oklahoma Christian School. And your Oklahoma Ford Dealers game of the week after 1 quarter of play. It's OCS 12, Pauls Valley nothing. You're watching your game of the week on Game Time on YurView. We'll be back.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
Because every great accomplishment takes courage. Because one person can't do it all. Because dreams are worth chasing. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money. With proven services that support all of your endeavors. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
Welcome back, everybody. As you saw our Mazio's commercial there, I'm Steve Marshall, along with my partner Brian Burchell here this evening. We'll be selecting a Mazio's MVP of the game. We'll check on some of the stats at halftime. And then when the contest is complete, Brian and I will do our very best to pick the most valuable player of the game, brought to you by Mazio's and the Mazio's MVP.
Well, Steve, I would say the first quarter was defined by the big play. I think Pauls Valley has won the battle of time of possession. Certainly been more consistent in their plays as they're going to run that quick play off to the line of scrimmage here. And again, OCS jumps. My goodness, that's the fourth time they've been drawn off sides. But a punt return for a touchdown, a 4th and 12 that went for 25, and a quarterback sack and fumble. Really, that's the difference
it is.
In the ball game. Pauls Valley has been consistently moving the ball forward. And again, you know, a couple sacks has really derailed them. Otherwise, like I said, they've had the ball longer, and they've looked to be more consistent, I guess would be the word to use. Certainly more ball control. But as we know, sometimes time of possession is a big stat teller, and sometimes it means absolutely nothing.
Can be misleading at times. Grimmett hands to Harding. Boy, he just goes in there and just bounces around.
First guy doesn't bring him down.
Nope.
You know, he's not super big, but obviously he's very strong with the lower body. His very quick foot, and as you can see, he gets those big legs moving forward, and it's hard to wrap him up down low because he's so strong and so fast.
The roster they supplied us doesn't include height and weight on it, so we really don't have his dimensions, but just looking out there, 5'9", 165.
That's exactly what I was going to say, 5'9", 5'10", probably in the 160 to 170 range, so yeah.
Strong runner.
Very good.
He'll get it here again, straight ahead, puts his head down, goes across inside the 35-yard line.
You know, those runs, you can say they're boring, but he's picked up 3 both times. He leaves himself with a 3rd and 3.5, and one more run like that, and he's, you know, right there at the sticks.
Try to keep the drive alive. We're just underway here. Second quarter action. 12-0 Saints on top. Pauls Valley driving, if not methodically, down the field.
This has got to be go-for-it territory, doesn't it? As long as they don't lose yardage here.
You would think.
Especially with that power formation they've shown in the first half. Boy, OCS was ready there. Fumble.
Good job as quarterback Grimmett kept it and was immediately spilled. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but nowhere near that first down marker, and that'll bring up 4th down in about 3.5 yards.
Put it on the ground, but his offensive lineman, Kevin Pineda, was there, Johnny on the spot, to recover the fumble. OCS was ready for the quarterback read there. They had 2 guys on the pitch man and 2 guys on the quarterback, so nowhere to go there. And 4th and 3 would be interesting to see what they do here. They've had success with that quick little 5-yard stick route. See if they go back to that.
4th down for the Panthers. Grimmett takes the snap, rolls right.
Pressure
has time.
Again. Great read. Oh.
Dumps it, and then the pass is incomplete, and the receiver gets his chops knocked. And out of bounds, and OCS will take over.
And my early candidate for the Mazzio's player of the game is Bobby Chapman. Yep. He was there on the big stick. There, a great read by quarterback Grimmett there to see his, bailout receiver, and if he's able to hold on, that was number 8 Mason Arnold. He would have picked up the first down, but this is a big defensive stand for Pauls Valley, in my opinion. You get down 3 scores on the road. That's just a lot to ask of a team who, while they've shown the ability to methodically drive, have not shown the ability for a big play.
All right, so here come the Saints again, leading 12-0. Handoff coming up right side, going to get about 2 yards on the carry, not much more. Mason Arnold with the carry. Pauls Valley plays at Bethany next week. OCS will be hosting Metro Christian.
We'll see Bethany later this year when they host Kingfisher. I'm not sure if that's the game you're doing or not. I know I'll be there.
Yeah.
Bethany with a really good young quarterback, sophomore Sam Brandt.
Running play left side. Looked like there was a face mask in there. Yeah, here come the flags flying.
Laundry on the field there.
So he'll get the gain, which was a good 5 or 6 yards anyhow, and then the yardage on top of that looked like somebody got a face mask or horse collar or something on that far side of the field.
That was Blake Curtin on the carry, and he's fast. He's been the guy that's been blitzing off the corner. Brought the pressure on the last play, brought pressure earlier in the game. He's quick off the edge, has shown his speed on defense, and now able to show it there on the jet sweep from the slot position on the field.
So line of scrimmage now is the Panther 41-yard line. Quarterback again is Kalen Halverson. Panthers showing blitz. OCS rechecks the call at the line of scrimmage. Dropping the throw, has time. Looking, gets the reception out on the far side, caught. Nice move back towards the middle, down at about the 22-yard line. Pass complete there to number 2, Blake Curtin.
And again, showing his speed. He's very, very quick, very shifty, just that drag route, but he had 2 steps. And generally when you catch the ball on that kind of route, when you try to turn upfield, the defender's there, but he was able to beat the defender to the edge, turn upfield, and gain another 7 or 8 yards, and a big pass play there for 20+, and another big play for OCS sets them right on the doorstep of the red zone.
At the 22-yard line in Pauls Valley territory, Halverson gives left side, hand up, race to the corner, down inside the 15-yard line, finally knocked out at about the 12.
Will Kubicek, that was an interesting formation. He lined up as a fullback, and at the snap, he came back, so it looked like they were going to run the regular quarterback read as almost a counter play to the offside back. That was well designed, and a big hole there as Pauls Valley was expecting the ball to go the defensive left, and it went the opposite direction.
Another first down, and that will make it 1st and 10. Need to get to the 3-yard line. They'd like to keep this drive going, or maybe just end it all and get it right in the end zone now. Mason Arnold inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
That was just we're going to run it down your throat and try to stop us. The offensive line did a great job with the push. Mason Arnold continued running after first contact, and again, OCS successful on first down, allowing them to open up the playbook here as it looks like they head towards the end zone, which just beyond looks like where the wild things might be. It's like Field of Dreams back there.
Yep. Halverson going to keep it himself. No throw. Flag is out. Thrown by the referee into the end zone for an apparent touchdown, but hold on.
Offensive lineman is down, so maybe we had a deal where 2 guys went low. The referee was looking right at it. We'll see what the call is here, but the lineman's still down.
Number 75, that's Grayson Howlett.
Holding on the defense, or on the offense, so that touchdown.
He was limping around a little earlier too,
Was
Brian.
Okay. Grabbing the back of his leg. Hopefully it's a cramp. You hope, but it doesn't. I mean, you never know. Big boy, for sure.
Yep. He is listed 6'3", 275.
I believe it. He's not allowing anyone to help him off the field, so maybe it's just a cramp. You hope that's the case,
right,
at least for the young man. We hate to speculate, obviously, in the booth.
Well, he looks like he's walking better since when he first got off the ground.
We'll keep it on the trainers to see if they just stretch him and give him fluids or...
Running play, looking for the outside.
Boy, Curtin is quick. Look at that.
He really is.
That'll be a first down.
All the way down to the 1-yard line, and a new set of downs coming up for the Saints.
Curtin's super quick. They've lined him up at receiver. They've handed it to him on the jet sweep. They've thrown it to him on a shallow cross. So looks like kind of like an X-Factor type player maybe there for the Saints, but a guy who is multi-purpose. He can take the handoff. He can catch the pass. Sets him up with a 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
Eli Hunter is out wide to the right. Quarterback Halverson in the backfield with Mason Arnold. Pass play way behind the intended receiver.
I mean, you haven't lost yards on a running play. You're inside the 1. I mean, that's a deal where, you don't, again, don't want to play armchair quarterback, but you feel like you're almost out-coaching yourself there. Just line up, hand it off. You're going to pick up a yard in 3 plays.
Sure.
You've been moving the line of scrimmage all night.
I would agree.
My guess is they'll go back to a power run right here.
Halverson bringing the play in himself. Arnold is to his left. Takes the snap straight ahead. Keeps it, runs it, and...
Got it in. Second effort.
Into the end zone. Touchdown for the Saints.
his forward momentum was stopped, Steve, but nobody had him wrapped up about the upper body. So as soon as his forward momentum was stopped, just simply reached the ball over the goal line and pulled it back, and that's when the touchdown signal was raised.
6:56 mark of the third quarter of play. Third touchdown of the half for the Saints. They have not made any of their extra points so far. So the score stands at 18-0. See how they want to play it this time.
Line up in a regular formation versus swinging gate. They've tried the swinging gate, as you mentioned, the first 2 times.
Roll it to the right side, looking, throws it towards the back of the end zone, too tall. Pass intended back there, trying to get it to Austin Fritz, but incomplete. And we've got a timeout on the field. Your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week on Game Time. Here on YurView, it's 18-0, and it's OCS on top of Pauls Valley. We'll be back.
Because practice pays off. Because it's better to give than to receive. Because there's no place like home. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with innovative services that let you focus on what's most important. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Saints are taking advantage of their situations when they arise. Got it into the end zone for a third time tonight. Now on top of Pauls Valley by a score of 18-0.
Yeah, that drive was a lot of Blake Curtin. He had 2 big runs that also had a face mask to add and a great and a catch and run on a reception. And Halverson pays it off with a 1-yard touchdown quarterback keeper. And OCS now up 3 scores. And as we approach halfway through the second quarter, Pauls Valley in the situation where they probably need to find a way to get some points on the board. Can't blame the weather.
No, that is for sure.
Kyrie Harding is back to receive the kick along with the other returner, and I don't know if he would have been back on the first 2, but certainly I would imagine you want to kick it away from him.
Low line drive kick. Harding will take it at about the 10. Speeds up the middle.
Runs the guy over.
Big collision at about the 33-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will put it in play. 1st and 10, 6:46 left to go here in the first half of play.
That was a pretty big hole, and Harding outran his blocker. And if he waits on his blocker and his blocker gets a piece of that guy, you don't know what happens. There was nobody else really in that hole. So, but he was not wanting to wait on his blocker. He was ready to get that ball and go. So, again, Pauls Valley, 3 of their first 4 drives starting outside the 30, but have been unable to cross the midfield hash just yet.
OCS defense has had a lot to say about that.
Absolutely. They are still on the defensive line nearly jumping. And you see 22, Nate Brooks in a sprinter stance as he gets to the line there, and I believe that's going to be a holding flag.
Flag is thrown. Pass downfield is knocked away, incomplete. Once again, the referee, Jeff Murray, threw the flag.
Boy, Nate Brooks, 22, is slight of stature, maybe 5'10"-ish. If he weighed 200 pounds, I'd be surprised. But playing nose guard on defense and causing havoc, the little guy using his speed to find creases. And there, if he hadn't been tackled, he would have gotten to the quarterback immediately. He's the one laying down like a snake in the grass, ready to attack. If you watch him there on the defensive line, 22 in the middle.
Kind of takes that wrestler's
he sure does. He gets low. They always say leverage wins. As you can see him down there now. He's going to get lower than the other guy. Look at how low his pad level is. You can see it on your screen there. And he's got those feet revved up, ready to go. Break straight through there.
Keeper out of the backfield. Gains just a yard, 2 at the very most. OCS defense is bent a little bit, but they certainly haven't broken tonight as they are still holding Pauls Valley off the scoreboard. Now looking at a 2nd down and 20.
You know, OCS, I think, has a lot of high hopes for the season. I know going into the game last week, I talked to a couple parents from the team, and they felt like they would be able to go up to Jones and compete. I know that's not what happened, but for them to feel like they could go up there and compete. In the first half they've had tonight, I certainly think that, some of those winning ways they've seen over the past couple years might be closer to coming back than not. As a interception there for the Saints.
Overthrown pass intercepted there by Jackson Kennard, the sophomore. He just sat back there. It was overthrown. He picked it off. Short return. And it'll be Saints football at the Pauls Valley 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Still plenty of time to get more points on the board.
Just really a nightmarish start for Pauls Valley. 2 turnovers, a punt return for a touchdown. Not the way they envisioned the first half going, for sure.
Well, OCS has certainly respected the ball more here in the game so far, not having...
OCS going to have to take time out there. They weren't sure who their personnel was going to be there.
So a timeout on the field. We'll take one ourselves. It's your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week, and it's OCS on top of Pauls Valley. 18-0 our score on Game Time here on YurView.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event, offering 0% for 60 months on the most 5-star safety-rated vehicles. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers, like 0% financing for 60 months on all Ford SUVs, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to OCS. Steve Marshall, Brian Burchill, Bobby Rose, Mark Jeffries, and the crew here tonight. Excited to bring you some high school football action, and right now it's OCS. They've got the best of it, and they're trying to add to that lead. 18-0 with 5:53 left to go here before halftime.
Yeah, the last play was a Jackson Kennard interception on an overthrow, and OCS had to take their second timeout of the half as they were unsure what personnel they wanted on the field, but they've got it figured out here. And the ball in plus territory, an opportunity to really put a good amount of space between themselves and the visiting Pauls Valley Panthers here before the half.
Haven't started the play clock just yet. Here we go. Signal from our referee. And we're back to the action here. Saints trying to add to their 18-point lead. Alverson play action, looking downfield, throws, and right through the hands of the defender. Probably should have been intercepted. I believe that was number 3 that was out there for Pauls Valley, Jared Perry, but he couldn't come away with the INT.
Yeah, he had a great read on the play, good jump, and boy, when you're down on the road and you just turn it over, that's certainly a ball if you're Pauls Valley and you can pick off. You can get some momentum. Unfortunately now OCS with a second chance. And again, misformation on offense. But they've still got 20 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time to get this thing figured out.
Taking their time at the line of scrimmage. Play clock ticking down now at 5. Option to the right side. Pitch it to Arnold.
Oh, good tackle there.
It's a great job. Blocker didn't really give his all trying to keep his defender out of the play as he was able to scrape off that blocker and then make the tackle. Looked like it was going to be successful for a little bit more than that, but a nice job defensively by the Panthers.
Jared Perry again, who just missed the interception, comes up and makes the tackle for a loss of 2, and 3rd and 12 for OCS, and got to get off the field. And again, OCS with confusion on who should be on the field, and again, going to have to take a timeout. That's going to be something they're going to have to address at the half because you can't have personnel issues in case you need those timeouts later in the game.
Yep. Well, there is a timeout on the field. 5:17 left to go here in our first half of play. OCS Saints on top, leading it. Remind you of what we have coming your way here in the coming weeks as well. And next week, as far as game time on YurView, we've got Mount St. Mary at Christian Heritage. That'll be a Friday contest. And then the week after that, it'll be Kingfisher versus Bethany. I will not be at that game, so you'll have to carry on without me, Brian. I'm sure you'll do a great job there.
I'll do my best, Steve.
Cleveland plays Hera, and the week after that, those are some of the games that'll be coming up on Game Time here on YurView, and then Chickasha at Newcastle later in the season. As we'll get a look there and see what Newcastle has added. Obviously, Casey Thompson is now the quarterback over there. His younger brother is also on board. So big season of football planned right here on Game Time. Taking a long time with these plays.
Down to 10 on the play clock, out of the timeout.
Right. Fakes the pass, now fakes it back the other way and instead just grounds it.
Great job there by the quarterback. They were trying to do the fake screen left and come back to the wide receiver screen. It fooled nobody. Great awareness there by Halverson, though. Instead of taking the 12-yard loss, just throws it at the feet of his running back and avoids. 4th and 12, though, and OCS is going to go for it, it looks like. So they picked up a long 4th down earlier in the game that led to their first score. Paul's Valley needs to stop here if they want to get back in this one.
Paul's Valley expecting a quick kick, and the left tackle gets up and pulls early. They had something planned there. As fast as he got out of that stance from the left tackle spot to come around to the right side.
So now I would imagine you'd see the quick kick here.
Yeah.
You don't. Time running out, you've dominated, you're up 18-0. The last thing you want to do here is give Paul's Valley the ball at midfield. You pin them deep, you force them to do something they haven't done, and that's drive on you. And while your defense is played, you would imagine you punt it deep and take your chances of getting it back with, a minute and a half to 2 minutes on the clock.
4th down, right from midfield. Takes the snap. He will kick it away, as Paul Valley expected. Kick taken at the 10. And again, it's caught on the run. That makes a big, big difference. He'll get a nice return out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Jared Perry again, the guy who made a great tackle earlier and just missed an interception, had an opportunity to make a big play there. Returns the punt for 28 yards out to the 36. A good punt there by the quarterback, Halverson. Maybe almost too good of a punt. Outkicked the coverage a little bit, and Paul's Valley again with pretty good starting position. Plenty of time here. If they could get a touchdown and make this 18-7, for as much as OCS has dominated, they'd be, still in the neighborhood.
See what the Panthers want to do. They look at the wide receiver screen. That's well defended. Instead, he'll try to run it up the middle, and he's tackled. Nice job there defensively. Coming up and making the play for OCS. Number 51, and that's Jake Rice, the senior. Gain of a yard in the play.
Great coverage there, you said it, by the Saints on the outside. Excellent recognition there by Grimmett not to hold the ball too long. As soon as he saw receivers cover, he tucked it down, at least got a positive gain of a short 2 or a long 1 on the play.
Harding set off to the right from Grimmett. Fake the handoff that way and then dump it over the middle. Short pass, but it's going to be good for a 1st down across the 45 out to the 47. 1st down for the Panthers.
Really headsy play by Grimmett. The wide receiver screen was closed off. He rolls right like he's going to run it. The cornerback comes off of him, off the receiver to try to tackle Grimmett, and as soon as he does, he drops it there. It's almost like one of those run-pass option type plays you see, but headsy play and picks up 11 yards and a 1st down for Paul's Valley looking to cross midfield.
Grimmett out of the shotgun. Looking left side, flushed out of the pocket, in trouble. And he'll pick up about 2-3 yards on the scramble, get it out close to midfield. Clock running with 3:50 left to go before half.
He's got time, but he just can't get a receiver open downfield. He had plenty of time there. He was able to go through 3 reads before he was finally pressured. So the offensive line doing their job when there's not a blitz. But, it's kind of one of those things. OCS, when they blitz, they're getting the quarterback. When they play coverage, nobody's getting open. So Paul's Valley's going to have to figure out a way to guess correctly or get some guys open schematically with their routes. Perry's open here if he missed him. Now he sees him. And
going
he's wide
deep,
open.
wide open. Got him in stride. Perfect toss. Touchdown. Panthers. No flags in the play, and now there's a flag coming out after the play was all over with.
I saw Perry lined up. I mentioned to you as soon as the ball was snapped, the safety cheated up, and Perry just really straight down the field. He put his arms up immediately. I wasn't sure Grimmett was going to see him. It looked like the safety might come over the top, but the safety was too far from the play. Wouldn't have mattered if he did. Grimmett put that ball on the absolute money. Great over-the-shoulder catch there by Perry, and all of a sudden, Pauls Valley with a big play of their own, 51 yards in the air, I believe, and they are on the board for the first time tonight.
Perfect pass. He was wide open, hit him in stride. And now they're back to within 2 scores. They'll try to kick the traditional extra point.
Bless you, Gilbert Gonzalez on for the extra point. And Pauls Valley wants a timeout. I don't know if maybe they had a fake on or... Oh, they didn't have enough guys on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they only had 10 guys on the field. So...
Timeout. We'll keep it right here. Are we checking scores this year, Bobby Rose? Have to check our Squirtle scoring app to see what we've got there as far as different scores from across the state.
Check a few at halftime, maybe.
See if we can't find some as we move along here. Some of the other big games that are being played tonight throughout the state of Oklahoma.
Is this the weekend that the Texas schools come up to see Broken Arrow and Tulsa Union?
Yes.
I think I heard Trinity and
South Lake.
South Lake, yeah.
They'll both be up this weekend. I think a lot of people were very surprised at what Owasso did to Jenks last week. This week you've got Midwest City against Tulsa, Washington. That's a big game. Carl Albert has already beaten Lawton High. Heritage Hall at John Marshall. You've got Jones and Lincoln, number 1 and number 4. Both those teams off of state championships with the last 2 years. Chisholm is at number 6, Washington. McGinnis, runner-up last year, also in action. Here we go back to the action now on the extra point.
Gonna go for it.
Grimmett drops, throws, the fade to the corner. 2 guys are there. Defender knocks it down, and it is incomplete. So that'll be the end of that scoring drive, but it does result in 6 points for the Panthers. It's now 18-6. OCS on top, 3:11 left to go here in the first half on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
Because practice pays off. Because it's better to give than to receive. Because there's no place like home. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with innovative services that let you focus on what's most important. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
We're back at Saint Stadium. Pauls Valley has just gotten on the board with their first touchdown of the night, cutting the lead for OCS now down to an 18-6 advantage with 3:11 left to go here before halftime. And then there was a flag, personal foul against OCS after the touchdown. So
Are they lined up for an onside here maybe? Nope. I like the strategy, though. Keep it in play and try to pin them deep.
Running up the middle.
Tackle them.
Great move. Loose football, and it gets out of bounds. I think it's still going to be OCS ball.
Yep.
Pauls Valley did not really have possession of it. They had a hand on it, but not possession. So 3:04 now left to go. See what the Saints want to do offensively. I'm sure they want to drive and put more points on the board.
I think if you have success, first couple plays, I would imagine his first play will be a run, though, to get the clock moving.
Running play up the middle. Nice gain. Yeah, you're right. He moves those feet pretty quick.
He's a change of pace type guy. They can do a lot of things with him in slot. They can run that jet sweep. They can run a drag route. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him go deep at some point in this game, because you got to imagine if he gets a half a step on a defender going down the middle of the field, no one's going to be able to keep up with him. 8 yards, clock starts moving, a positive gain. That's exactly what OCS wanted on that first play.
Roll it to the left this time. Throw downfield, and it's intercepted. Stepped up and took it away. Interception, I believe, there by number 13, Dalton Morse.
Well, we talked earlier, Steve, about the big play was defining the first half, and now all of a sudden Pauls Valley has had this year a great punt return, 52-yard touchdown pass, and interception. So Pauls Valley's now entering with some big plays of their own, and if they can find a way to go 30 yards in 2.5 minutes, all of a sudden, momentum on their side, we got a ball game heading to halftime. I go to Harding here. I know that after a quick change you want to go deep, but I don't know that you want to give the ball back to OCS. I'd want the clock moving on first down and take up as much as the 2.5 minutes as you can before you punched in if you do.
Grimmett takes the snap, gives to Harding, right side. Defense is right there. Big hit by number 51, one of the first ones to arrive. That's Jake Rice again. Got the big hit on there. Virtually no gain on the play.
Sure. You only have to go 30 yards, though. I think that's the right play because now we're going to run inside 2 minutes. So if something were to happen, a turnover, you don't make it, now you're not going to allow OCS very much time to be able to score.
Grimmett here, dropping to throw, left side, slant.
Oh,
receiver had it and just couldn't hang on.
Grimmett's looked pretty good tonight, Steve. He's dropped back. He's put a lot of balls on the money. He stands tall in the pocket, which is something you don't see a whole lot, but he's got an accurate arm. Threw a deep ball really well. I've liked what I've seen from him.
Yep.
You can tell by the way they've called plays in the pass game. They certainly trust him as a quarterback. He's a guy they're confident can throw the football.
Seemed like he tried to catch that with the body as opposed to getting his hands out there first.
May have seen the safety coming towards him too. Tyler Thompson there, and that would have been a first down as well. Ball was put. You can't. I guess next time you try not to hit him between the numbers. Wide open over the middle. Guy turned his head. He didn't.
Oh, it's intercepted. Going back the other way, looking for a little bit of blocking. He's got it out front, and he should have just one man to beat. Flying down the sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown, OCS. Jackson Kennard.
Kennard with the second pick of the game. Again, just a safety in the right spot. The tight end was open initially, but the tight end did not turn his head. So Grimmett had to hold the ball a touch longer than he wanted. You could see him almost double pump, and by that time, Kennard was able to read the play and
stepped in front and took it away.
79 yards later, he's found pay dirt.
So it looked like Pauls Valley was driving to get within one score. Instead, it's an Oski pick six back the other way. And now 24-6 is our score, and they'll try to add an extra point or two, as has been the case most of the night for the Saints.
Uncle Mo does not sign long leases. He will change addresses very quickly. He's moved from Pauls Valley to OCS there in a matter of 2 snaps.
Yeah.
Option.
Keep it to the right side, pitch it.
Good play.
Brought down. Good job defensively by Pauls Valley. With 1:29 left to go before halftime, OCS with the Oski pick six, taking it back the other way for Jackson Kennard here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event, offering 0% for 60 months on the most 5-star safety-rated vehicles. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers, like 0% financing for 60 months on all Ford SUVs, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Christian School, OCS. Pauls Valley was driving, trying to make it a one-score ball game, moving the ball downfield, and then they tried one pass too many as Jackson Kennard stepped in front, took it away, and then raced down the near sideline all the way to the house for the end zone and the touchdown. And it's back out to a 24-6 lead in favor of the Saints.
Be interesting to see what Pauls Valley does here. I mean, it could depend on the return, but with 129, do you just, especially with what just happened there, do you attempt to go score being down 18, or do you just kind of say, you know what, let's go in and regroup? It'll be interesting to see. My guess is they give it to Harding a couple times. If you can break a run, they get aggressive. If not, they pack it in. But That was not what they needed for sure.
Kick a low line drive, far side. Fielded there by Pauls Valley, number 13 on the return. That is Dalton Morse. And the Panthers return to the field. Turnovers have certainly been a problem for them tonight. One return for a touchdown, another drive killer. OCS defense has come up with big plays on offense and defense, and thus the 3-touchdown lead.
Not very often you're at a 3A game, and they are 0 for 5 on extra point conversions.
Yeah. Grimmett, the quarterback.
He's going to throw it. They're going to trust him.
He's going to take a sack there and go all the way back. Both teams, neither one of them interested in stopping it right now. OCS has it where they want it. Pauls Valley probably, as you mentioned, might be content to just, hey, let's go regroup. Let's not dig ourselves a deeper hole.
Yeah, if they snap this too quickly, they'd be forced to run a 4th down play. OCS had a timeout, so they're going to run the play clock down here and allow themselves to. I mean, they haven't even started the play clock, so still haven't started the play clock. Wow, that's a long time to start the play clock.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
It never started, actually.
Grimmett
He's gonna
steps
throw
up.
again.
Down the middle.
Ooh.
Intended there, trying to hook up with number 13, Morse again. Overthrew him. Incomplete. Could have been picked off.
Yeah, Kubicek was looking for the big hit. If he had kept his head up, that ball would have been tipped right into his hands. I mean, surely they run the ball here. With OCS without a timeouts, if they run the ball here, they won't have to snap it again.
38 seconds remaining before halftime. Grimmett, quarterback draw up the middle. Makes the turn. He'll get out of bounds with 31 seconds left. Still a good 6-7 yards shy of first down yardage.
It's weird that he would go out of bounds. Now they're forced to run a 4th down play. If he slides, by the time they set the ball, we're inside 25 seconds. In the high school game, they don't start the play clock until the ball is set. And they're going to have to punt here. And we've already had one punt return for a touchdown. Man, poor clock management there by the Panthers of Pauls Valley. Forces them to allow OCS another chance. They bring the pressure. Don't get it, but it's a bad. Oh, great bounce there for Pauls Valley. The ball landed right near midfield, bounces 18 yards forward to 32. And 20 seconds left it. I mean, if you're up 24-6, why not give it a heave?
Yeah. Should be able to get away with whatever bad could possibly happen. You've shown the ability to move the ball. I'm not going to say at will, but with
well, yeah, you'd think even if you throw in a deep interception, by the time you tackle him, most of the 20 seconds would have gone off the clock. I mean, but you're up 24-6. They're going to run the ball here, but
so with 20 on the clock, handoff here, spins around, Arnold up the middle, has first down yardage, and that'll stop the clock again with 13 seconds left. One of the Saints a little slow in getting up. Number 50 leaving the lineup for the Saints. Got a little hitch in his giddy up there. Caden Levings. Checking in for him was Caleb Rogers. And that will be the final play of our first half from Saints Stadium. Kind of up and down and back around type ball game as OCS got out to a 14-0 lead. It was Pauls Valley that was able to score, make it 14-6. They were driving again late, but an interception taken back for a touchdown, and that helped contribute to our score that we have right now. 24-6, OCS on top of Pauls Valley. It's halftime, and we'll continue our show with the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance Halftime Show, brought to you by the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better. We'll be back.
Thanks, Scott.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Get 0% for 60 months on the smartest, most capable trucks. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on F-Series, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
Halftime on Game Time is brought to you by the Oklahoma Farm Bureau, the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better. Tune in each week as we bring you some of the best players in the nation all fall long.
Welcome back to Saint Stadium. As you can see, the bands are getting ready to perform for us here at Oklahoma Christian and the Saint Stadium here this evening. Saints got off to a good start. They scored first and they scored second as they were able to get the early lead. They had Curtin catching a touchdown pass to give them a 6-0 lead, and then a touchdown reception by Austin Fritz, 9 yards out, made it 14-0. Pauls Valley was able to get on the board. Perry caught a 51-yard touchdown pass. That made it 14-6. But then, or 12-6 actually. And then 2 more touchdowns without the extra point scored by OCS, including a nice punt return by Kubicek. And that's where we stand right now with our score 24-6. Looking at that first half, it doesn't feel as though the two teams, Brian, are that far apart. It's just that mistakes have been made on Pauls Valley's end, and not so much Oklahoma Christian's been taking care of the football.
Yeah, we talked about it early, the big play, and as Pauls Valley made a couple of big plays themselves and looked like they were in position to get back in the game, they were down 2 scores with an interception, ball on the 30-yard line, and then throw a pick 6. And that kind of changed the narrative there in the first half. So OCS has been plus in the turnover, plus in the big plays, and thus they're plus on the scoreboard right now.
They lead it by a score of 24-6. We're at halftime. Halftime also one of the scores that we can give you. Bixby beating Jenks 14-3. Interesting score there. You got some more for us?
Yeah, Booker T leads Midwest City 14-7. Lawton Mack leading Lawton Ike 21-15. And Owasso, who you mentioned last week, blowing out Bartlesville 42-0 at the half. It looks like also Tulsa Union leading Euless Trinity 21-0.
Interesting. All right, so we'll continue to update scores. It is your Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance Agents halftime show, the same Farm Bureau that you've always known and trusted, now even better. We'll take a timeout, return with our coverage right here on Game Time on YurView.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event, offering 0% for 60 months on the brand with the highest owner loyalty. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on all Ford cars, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Because practice pays off. Because it's better to give than to receive. Because there's no place like home. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with innovative services that let you focus on what's most important. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Get 0% for 60 months on the smartest, most capable trucks. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on F-Series, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Because every great accomplishment takes courage. Because one person can't do it all. Because dreams are worth chasing. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with proven services that support all of your endeavors. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event, offering 0% for 60 months on the brand with the highest owner loyalty. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on all Ford cars, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Saint Stadium. As you can see, the Oklahoma, actually that's the Pauls Valley Band, I believe, that is performing here at the halftime. Good crowd on hand here tonight for the folks that made the drive up Highway 35 from Pauls Valley, and of course the surrounding areas that make up all of the Oklahoma Christian School ADM, their average daily membership, those that attend the school here. And, of course, right now our halftime score has OCS on top. They lead it by a score of 24-6.
Yeah. Some other scores from around the state. Jones leading Lincoln Christian 22-20. They obviously beat OCS last week. Sulphur leads Winningwood 22-7. Tulsa Union up on Euless Trinity 21-0. And then Broken Arrow and Carroll tied at 7. So South Lake Carroll, that is. And we mentioned earlier, Booker T leads 14-7 over Midwest City. Lawton Mac leading Lawton Ike 21-15. Owasso all over Bartlesville 42-0. And that's all. And of course, another surprising score, Steve Wagner down at the half to Coweta 27-14. So that's pretty interesting.
What's their winning streak up to now at Wagner?
Well, it's been 2 years at least, hasn't it, since they've been beat?
I think they've won 3 in a row, but they may have lost that.
I know they have not lost the last 2 seasons for sure. So, and you count playoff games, so it's at least 30.
Right.
It's at least 30. So that's pretty impressive. But they're down to Coweta, as we mentioned, at the half by 27-14.
All right, and of course we are. We have the duty tonight to make sure that we pick our Mazio's MVP player of the game after the first half of play. You have to obviously look at both quarterbacks for Pauls Valley, the running back Kyrie Harding, and then a couple of guys to look at for OCS and the way that they've performed in this first half.
Yeah, I'd look at Blake Curtin, who's caught a couple of big passes, made a couple runs, has not found his way to the end zone yet, which could hurt him. And then Jackson Kennard, who has had 2 interceptions, one for 72 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, I think you're right, both quarterbacks. And then you look at guys like Curtin and Kennard. Certainly if Pauls Valley gets back into this game, it'll be because of Grimmett or Harding. So that's why they stay on the watch. And I think for OCS, you look at Halverson, Curtin, or Kennard.
All right, 24-6 OCS on top of Pauls Valley. We're at halftime. Your Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance halftime show brought to you by the same Farm Bureau that you've always trusted, now even better. We'll take a timeout, be back with more of your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week right here on YurView. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. It is your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. It's game time here on YurView.com. Brian Birchall's alongside with me. I'm Steve Marshall. As we get ready for second half action, both teams have made their way back onto the field, gone through their mandatory 3-minute stretching and warm-up drill to begin a new half. And we are all set to go here between these two squads, residing in Class 3A. OCS in 3A1. Head coach Derek Turner in his 14th year. Won a state championship back in 2012. Was a runner-up back in 2014. And when you look at that Class 3A, Brian, we talked about the teams where they were ranked. Jones is there at number 1. John Marshall at 2. Then Plainview, Sulphur, Cushing, Kingfisher is 7. Followed by Berry Hill, Stigler, and then Perkins Tryon. So neither one of these teams right now listed in the top 10. Class 3A is very, very competitive, though. I know most all the classes are, but Class 3A, there's a handful of teams that can take home the gold ball when the championships are all raised at the end of the season.
Yeah, Jones, the perennial favorites. John Marshall's been really good the last couple of years. They're in a dogfight tonight with Heritage Hall. As we mentioned earlier, that's 7-6. But yeah, Class 3A is a really good class, and as you mentioned, every year it feels like when you go into the playoffs, you got a handful of teams that you wouldn't be surprised if won it. Generally, the quarterfinals and the semifinals in 3A have some really exciting matchups.
All right, so we're just about ready to go here. Second half, Pauls Valley to kick it away, OCS to receive. The deep men for OCS. Number 12 is Austin Fritz, and number 2 is Blake Curtin. Here comes the kick. It's a high kick, going to be taken at about the 20-yard line. Working his way back towards the middle. Somebody lost a helmet. Big hit on the far side. And they'll get it out to about the 30-yard line, and that's where the Saints will put it in play, 1st and 10 to begin the second half.
Nate Brooks lost his helmet. Not only lose his helmet, after he picked it up, you saw him picking up hardware. Lost a jaw pad, maybe a mouthpiece, so he's going to come over and get that fixed. But very smart by Brooks there. You can get a penalty for trying to continue to play. His helmet came off, and I happened to watch, and he walked straight to the sideline, so he would not be involved in the play. So the play could continue. So big opening possession here, I think, for Pauls Valley defense, Steve.
All right, let's see what OCS wants to do offensively. Quarterback is Kalen Halverson.
Going with Kennard in the backfield. In the first half, they went with Mason Arnold, so going with Kennard here to start the second half.
Check the sidelines and see if we can find out any news there. Here's a running play to the right side. Gets a yard, maybe 2. Pauls Valley comes out to start the second half. They're fired up, so are their fans.
Yeah, you saw the bench lively after that tackle, so obviously they want to get back in this game. Remember, Kennard fumbled on his very first possession, carried the second half, recovered it, has more than made up for it with 2 interceptions, 1 returned 72 yards. For a score.
They give him 2 on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 8. Checking the sidelines, getting the play sent in. See what the Saints decide here on 2nd and 8. Gets the snap, little comeback route to the wide receiver, makes a nice move, gets the first down. Pass complete on the near side to Ben Smith, senior wide receiver. Ran a nice route. Put the ball right on the money, and he gets the first down.
First time we called Ben Smith's name, and I'm scanning the sidelines, Steve. I do not see number 8 back on the field anyway, so anywhere. Mason Arnold, I don't see him right now on the sideline. Hasn't lined up at receiver either, so I don't know if he's still in the locker room. I don't remember seeing him get hurt. Maybe he just hasn't come out yet, but I'm looking for number 8.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
And I don't see him. So, obviously, without a sideline reporter, it's hard to find anything out. But we'll keep an eye to see if maybe he comes out of the locker room. I don't see anybody down there in street clothes without a jersey either. Anyway.
All right, 1st and 10. Running play near side.
Kennard.
Falling forward.
There is one Saint there with game pants on there on the table. They're right about the 43-yard line. Gray T-shirt. So maybe that could be him.
Pickup of 8, maybe 9 on the carry into Panther territory. Line of scrimmage at the 47-yard line.
So Kennard, a sophomore, at least for now, looks like he's going to get the lion's share of the carries in the second half. So going to need to be sure-handed as Halverson calls the set out of the pistol formation.
Looks down the middle. Now escapes, rolling, in pursuit, throws it away again.
Good job. Good recognition by Halverson. He's very athletic, very quick of foot. Excellent job there by the junior to get rid of the ball. And, with 3rd and 2, there's no reason to pick up negative yardage there. You just put the ball on the turf and trust your offensive line to get 2 yards on 3rd down.
Kennard in the backfield. Saints looking at a 3rd down, long one, but more like 2.
Yep.
Handoff left side, fights forward. He'll have enough for the first down.
That second effort and that dive forward by Kennard was able to pick up the first down for the sophomore. And now OCS crosses midfield, and they're on the march here, looking to get back up 4 scores.
Ben Smith comes wide to the left here on the near side. In the slot is Austin Fritz. And then it's Curtin all by himself at the top of the screen. It's a running play, however. And he'll pick up about 2 yards.
You've mentioned Curtin up at the top by himself. I'm still waiting to see with his speed to see if they try to take advantage of that and send him deep down the field. We haven't seen Halverson air the ball out yet. Everything he's thrown has been underneath. They've been thrown well, but at some point you think they might try to stretch this Pauls Valley defense out, especially if they continue stacking the box and making it tough to run up the middle.
Quick swing pass. Nice job by Curtin to come down with the catch. Slips a couple of tackles. Flag flies in from the far side.
I think that was a face mask, I think.
He gets it out near first down yardage, but we'll have to wait and see what the initial call is.
Boy, as fast as he is, that's tough when they line him up tight like that, and because it's going to be a linebacker or safety trying to chase him down the line. And that ball was even behind him, and he was still, they're going to call holding on the receiver, number 1, Eli Hunter, but he was still, ball behind him, he was still able to turn the corner. So that's a play they've thrown a couple times. It's kind of like an extended jet sweep, but the problem is when he's lined up that close to the line of scrimmage, you can't take outside contain because then you're giving away a quick slant, and it's only a 6-yard throw for the quarterback there. Right. So you've got to play inside contain, and it's just hard to catch him to the edge like that.
Holding was the call against OCS, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 15. They're back on their side of the field right now, but at the 49-yard line. Halverson looking left, takes his time, throws over the middle. Pass intended there for Smith, but too tall, incomplete.
2 receivers in the air. There was Smith coming that way and Fritz coming the other way. Landed in between them. That ball was thrown well, just a touch on the high side. And 3rd down and 14 coming up for the Saints.
Quarterback Halverson. Jackson Kennard in the backfield with him.
Pauls Valley needs to find a way to get the offense back on the field here, get a little momentum. Don't give OCS a chance to go for it on 4th down.
In trouble, and he's going to go down.
Lost the ball.
Ball is out.
Got back on it.
Pauls Valley's right there on the other side. They say they have it.
Looks like the first guy for Pauls Valley had a chance and missed it. Yep, 4th down. Halverson just trying to do too much there, and as he tried to juke the 3rd time, the ball was hung out and just a little bit of contact to hit the ground. But nonetheless, a big play for Pauls Valley. Could have been a huge play for Pauls Valley, but either way, a big play, and they'll get the ball back with relatively good field position. Again, they've only started 1 drive inside their own 30, Steve, so field position has been there. I think they've had all the ingredients for success on the road, minus the turnovers.
Yeah. No question about it. Quick kick situation.
Not a good kick.
Knocks it over the stands on the far side of the field. It Be curious to see where they're going to mark that one out of bounds.
How is he going that far up? That's where the ball went. The ball went over the stands there.
Well, he'll start there
now
and then work his way back. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is going to be a punt of about, what?
7 yards?
Yeah.
8 yards? So Pauls Valley gets the ball at their own 48-yard line. I'll tell you what, no starting running back second half for OCS, and Mason Arnold down there in pants, but he has no jersey. And I like to see that. You're on the road. That first play for Pauls Valley, the bench goes crazy after a play of 2 yards. So you can tell whatever was said at halftime, they came out fired up, and sometimes all you need is a little belief.
Harding with the carry, left side, will pick up 2 or 3.
Well, it looked like there was a hole there, and that thing closed up quick.
OCS has been solid in their defensive approach tonight, not only the forcing of the turnovers, but filling gaps right away and not allowing the big plays.
And mixing up their blitzes. They've done a really good job mixing up blitzes, and Pauls Valley's had trouble with their protection. And then again, golly, that's the sixth time they've jumped off sides.
Well,
so the hard count working.
That's what you got to get out of the way in those non-district games.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have one more of those type games next week before they then get into district play. And by then, you better have everything fine-tuned and honed and sharpened and be ready to get into district action.
Especially if you're a team, a Friends playoff team like both these teams are. You're certainly right there on the edge. Those kind of mistakes sometimes can be the difference. And that'll give something for the Saints to coach up. Harding with some room. Uh-oh.
There he goes. He's gone. Got one guy to beat.
Not catching him.
Tries to push him out of bounds.
I think he got in.
He did get in.
No, they called him out the one. The ref is now marking with the one. His right foot hit out of bounds, but I thought he'd already extended the ball across the goal line. Nonetheless, inside the one, and we've talked about it, Harding's had a chance to break some plays, and he made a guy miss. Excellent hustle there by number 29, Jansen Clare, to probably delay the inevitable. But either way, you force him to run another play. And Pauls Valley, if they can punch this in, Steve, right back in this one. You got to imagine Harding's going to get it 3 more times here, right?
I would think.
Maybe 4. Nope, Grimmett's going to be quarterback sneaker here. And he's in.
Middle of the field and into the end zone for the touchdown with 7:12 left to go here in the third quarter. Pauls Valley's back on the board. Their second touchdown of the night, pending the extra point right now, 24-12. All it took was one play. You got to like what you see in Kyrie Harding.
He's a really good-looking running back.
And he finally broke one off here tonight, and you got to figure that he's going to get a steady diet of that football again the rest of the way. They line up as though they're going to kick the extra point.
Gilbert Gonzalez on for the extra point.
Threw the tee away. Now he goes back and gets the tee. 7 on the play clock. Line it up. Here comes the snap. Kick on the way. Up and good. So with 7:12 left to go here before the end of the third quarter, Pauls Valley back on the scoreboard as they make it a 24-13 game. They're still down by 11 points. We'll take a timeout. Continue our coverage of your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week here tonight. Game time on YurView.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Get 0% for 60 months on the smartest, most capable trucks. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on F-Series, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
All right, welcome back. Pauls Valley got the touchdown they needed, and they are now within 11 points. They trail at 24-13. 7:12 left to go, third quarter action here tonight on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
Well, Steve, they being Pauls Valley, got exactly what they wanted, a stop and a score. Puts them right back in the game.
See how OCS, Curtin, the speedster, trying to get to the corner. Good job by Pauls Valley as they take that away from them. And they'll mark it at about the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Saints. Still a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, excellent job by Pauls Valley to get themselves right back in the game. Contain momentum out of the second half. And OCS now needs to find an answer. OCS, I think, has had the more dynamic offense all in all with the plays, but I think when you look for a game breaker, that might be the guy wearing number 5 in white, Kyrie Harding. He's a guy that certainly he showed on that last run. He can be the kind of guy that can change this game with one play.
Running play here is Kennard takes the handoff in the backfield. And Pauls Valley's defense looks a lot better here to start this second half.
Well, it looks like they're playing with a lot of energy right now. You see their sideline is revved up on every play. They're revved up. You look at the OCS sideline, doesn't seem to be a lot of energy. You know, Pauls Valley's got all the energy right now, and sometimes that can lead to, just that step quicker on the field. Got a question for you in a second about a formation. See if you know the answer. I don't.
Going downfield, got a man out there and just didn't get enough air underneath it. Wide open. The intended wide receiver out there, number 15, Gilbert Gonzalez. Or I'm sorry, check that. That was number 15. That was Ben Smith for OCS. Just overthrown.
Big third down here now for the Pauls Valley defense. Can they get a 3 and out, get the ball back, probably have relatively good field position, and a chance to really make this interesting here in Edmond. Good-looking ball there by Halverson, but just overthrew his receiver.
Roll it out right this time. Going to go deep again. Has the receiver. Same type play. Smith had it and dropped it. Boy. Smith was there. He had it. The ball was on time. Now a little jawing going back and forth between the two. Smith can't be happy.
Grimmett was late getting over there. The safety also playing quarterback. That's a lot of ground to cover for a guy playing quarterback. Also got to play safety. Perfect ball there by Halverson. He certainly made up for the last throw. However, dropped. And, boy, with Pauls Valley lined up on the 40 to receive the punt, you figure they're going to get the ball near midfield.
Quick one-step drop. Good kick.
Great kick.
Dangerous play by the return man. It's still loose.
And he might be hurt. No, he's going to get up. But yeah, great punt there down to the 25. So excellent job flipping the field by OCS.
Panthers will take over 1st and 10 with 6:03 left to go here in this third quarter of play.
So here's my question, Steve. When an offense sets, and the quarterback will say kill or whatever, and the offensive linemen jump up to look at the sideline, if you're a defensive player and jump off, why would that not be a false start?
Well, that's a good question. Bobby Rose thinks he has an answer.
Yeah, well, I really have always wondered this. Never heard it explained. We're going to get an answer here shortly, so that's good. Because I would think if you're an offensive player and you acted like when the offensive player jumped up to look to the sidelines, if you jump off, we're going to get an answer quickly.
Snap back. Grimmett wants to go long.
Oh, he's got a man.
Got it deep. Passes out there. And
what a catch.
Coming away with the football, and it is quite the catch. Number 11, that is Tyler Thompson for Pauls Valley.
Boy, he went up over the defender, brings it down. They were fighting for the ball, even took a hit from the safety. You got to have some strong hands. It's rare to see a guy be able to pull that ball down, but Thompson goes up and wins the ball, and my goodness, we could have a flip in situations here very quickly if Pauls Valley continues to drive.
1st and 10 now. Line of scrimmage, the 34-yard line in OCS territory. Grimmett with Harding on the side, and a timeout has been taken. 5:41 left to go, third quarter. Pauls Valley trailing it, but they're on the move once again, trailing 24-13 on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Get 0% for 60 months on the smartest, most capable trucks. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on F-Series, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
All right, back to the action. Panthers with the football, looking at a first down and 10. 39-yard line in OCS territory. They scored last time they had the football. Grimmett dropping the throw. Going to throw it up top, going for the corner. Receiver is out there in a nice defensive play, knocking it away. Was number 12. That is Austin Fritz.
Ball a touch on the throw, but they go with the double move. And after the big play, having to call timeout for Pauls Valley, you have the defense on your heels. That's not good. But on top of that, maybe a timeout you need later in the game if you're trailing. So mark that one down and see if that may come up later. But either way, I'd like to see him stay aggressive there. Just got one over the top. Try it again.
Just too much air under that pass, too.
Absolutely.
Second down, 10 for the Panthers.
And they jump off again. That's 7 times.
That's, boy, they got to get that taken care of. It's one thing to be aggressive, but, boy.
Well, you don't think next week's opponent's not going to hard count him. I mean, after watching that film. And who knows? That may have been something that Pauls Valley saw in film.
Because they've certainly parlayed that into, as you said, at least 7 penalties of that sort. Hand it to Harding.
Ooh, nice tackle.
He gets taken down from behind. Looked like somebody grabbed him around the chest and
22.
Brought him backwards.
Nate Brooks, the undersized nose tackle. Well, it's a huge play there because it was 2nd and 10, and then it turned into 2nd and 5, so they're able to run the ball. Now they've got 3rd and 3 rather than 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 10 if they had tried to pass it.
Panthers stare over to the sidelines. We go under 5 minutes left to go here, third quarter. Grimmett takes the snap, gives to Harding. Right side.
Cut back. Got it.
Got the first down. Not a whole lot more, but he's just a tough runner that you can pretty well gamble and bet that he's going to get the 3, 4, 5 yards you need.
What he really does well, they run that little bit of a stretch play, and he does a good job of putting his foot in the ground when he sees a cutback lane and then gets north-south in a hurry. And once he gets that forward momentum, even when you hit him, as you mentioned, he's able to fall forward. He's done a great job picking his holes, and when he picks them, committing.
New set of downs, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Line of scrimmage at the 22-yard line in OCS territory.
Well, not only are they driving, they're taking the air out of the ball and really taking the air out of the crowd here. I mean, Pauls Valley has dominated the second half.
Grimmett, quick pass out to the flat. Gets the block.
Man.
All the way just maybe a yard, maybe less than that, shy of the first down yardage, keeping the drive alive.
Dalton Morris on the catch, and I mean, they are methodically moving the ball twice. And their defense twice has been pumped. And crowd pretty flat here on the home side here at State Stadium.
Grimmett tries to draw them off sides. OCS does not bite this time. Play clock down to 6. Grimmett takes the snap. Keeps it himself, goes forward, has the first down, inside the 10 to about the 9.
OCS was gambling on Harding getting the ball. I'll tell you what Grimmett's done a couple times now. He hadn't kept it much, but the times he's kept it, Done a really good job reading it. Every time he's kept it, picked up between 4 and 6 yards. So Pauls Valley with a 1st and goal and a chance to cut this to 4 points.
First and goal. Now for the Panthers. Running play, Harding, left side or right side.
No gain.
Not really. Good job defensively there by the Saints as they pushed it back. 2 lines of scrimmage met and nobody gave an inch.
Inside the 10, this is where if Pauls Valley wants to run it, they've got to try to go wide or they're going to have to throw the ball. They're probably not going to have much success. As you know, OCS is going to sell out to stop the middle.
Second and goal from the 10. Grimmett keeps it up the middle, makes a nice move, gets down to the 5-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 5. 2 down territory, obviously, here for the Panthers.
Yep, faked wide. Do you think 2 down territory? A field goal gets you back within 8. I don't know how much faith they have in the kicker.
Yeah.
It's pretty much an extra point at this point, but who knows?
3rd and goal from the 5. Pauls Valley trying to keep this thing alive. Couple of hard snap counts. Does not draw the defense off sides. 5 on the play clock. Grimmett takes the snap, gives to Harding. Right side,
nice
tripped
play.
up at the line. That's a real good play by Blake Curtin coming up from his corner position, making the play.
Said his name a few times tonight, but I was going to say before the play, but we ran out of time. If they run it, it's going to be 4 downs. If they throw it, it won't be, and they ran it. So going for it here. Nope. Gonzalez coming in, so they are going to try to put the points on the board.
That would keep it at the possibility of a 1-score game. Of course, you need a touchdown, and you would need the 2-point conversion just to tie. But obviously everything depends upon this kick right here.
And this is showing faith in his defense, obviously, who's played much better in the second half. Got to get points off this drive.
Gonzalez in for the field goal attempt. Snap back, ball down, kick is on the way. It's up, and it is good. 59 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter, and it'll be Pauls Valley kicking off away to OCS 24-13. Now it must be 24-16 now is our score. It's OCS. They lead it by 8 here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
Because practice pays off. Because it's better to give than to receive. Because there's no place like home. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with innovative services that let you focus on what's most important. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Well, the Panthers get the touchdown they were looking for and the extra point. Now 24-16 is our score. Still trailed by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But still, 58 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter and then a full 12 minutes after that. Kick taken at about the 13-yard line. Had the open field tackle slipped away. Nice try, good effort there by Austin Fritz, but Pauls Valley special teams doing a good job on the coverage.
Great job downfield in pursuit. First guy misses, second guy does not, and OCS has a long way to go with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Great job by the kick coverage team to only allow a 12-yard return there. And OCS needs to find a way to gain some momentum back. As we mentioned, not in uniform for the second half was the senior starting running back Mason Arnold. The sophomore instead, Jackson Kennard, in the backfield.
Running play. Kennard up the middle. Nice run. Get about 7. Give him 8 on that first down carry for the Saints.
Be interesting to see what OCS does here. We saw more throw, tried to mix in there in that last possession. See if they get back to the ground game and try to pound out some clock and kind of maybe try to thwart some of that momentum that Pauls Valley is clearly playing with right now.
Running play, Kennard, right side.
Short.
Yeah, from where they're standing, he will be just barely short.
He's going to have to get to the line, and the ball is just inside line. He'll have to get to the 30. The marker is on the 30.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. We will have it all sorted out when we return. Right now, OCS clinging to a 24-16 lead over Pauls Valley on Game Time. On YurView, your Oklahoma Ford dealers Game of the Week. We'll be back.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
Because an open road is always calling your name. Because life is sweet. Because every moment counts. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money. With convenient services that help you maximize the joys in life. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
Welcome back, everybody, as we return to the action. And that will be a first down for the Saints to keep the drive alive. Just underway here. 24-16 is our score. Along with Brian Burchell. You can see him or get to him on Twitter at Brian A. Burchell. And I am at Steve R. Marshall. So hit us up on Twitter. Let us know who you're watching, what team you're pulling for tonight, and maybe where you're watching from. Love to hear that. Always some great stories. Here's a running play right side. Good open field tackle made there by Pauls Valley's number 11, Tyler Thompson. Curtin does pick up some yardage, about 6 on the carry. They give him 5. So 2nd and 5 coming up. Wide receiver to the near side is Michael Gold. 2 backs in the backfield along with the quarterback. Handoff goes to Curtin, who tries the left side. Can't break away. He's going to be close to first down yardage. Looks like he has it. And boy, he can pick him up and put him down in a hurry.
Super quick, very quick. Interesting, they've gone with Curtin in the backfield rather than the slot. They use Kennard as a blocking back there and pick up some yardage. Got a couple interesting scores of note next time we have some time between plays.
Kennard is back as the running back. Also back there is Kubicek along with the quarterback. Handoff, right side. Good effort. Kennard fighting his way forward. Gets about 7.
OCS starting to open up some holes on the offensive line for sure in the running game. Quick couple scores. C.J. Moore with a touchdown catch. Union leads Euless Trinity 38-0. 42-yard touchdown for Tucker Pauley and Bixby up on Jinx 21-18. Interception for Heritage Hall. They now lead 20-13 over John Marshall. And Southlake Carroll and Broken Arrow tied at 14. 9 minutes left to go on that one. And Wagner got a message at halftime that must have woken them up. 3 straight TDs. They're up 34-28 in the 37-winning game streak.
Wow.
Game winning streak looks like it could be back intact.
All right, flag flies from the far side of the field. Looks as though the play clock could have expired. Illegal procedure is the call against the Saints, and that'll move them back the other way.
Pre-snap penalties have killed the Saints tonight, and certainly something, if they win, that the coaching staff will enjoy talking about in the film room tomorrow morning.
Break the huddle. Kennard will be in the backfield, along with Kubicek and the quarterback, Kalen Halverson. Out of the shotgun. Run it to the to the left side, rather. Kennard will pick up about 3 and leave them 3 yet still to get.
Kennard on the carry. Good blocking there by Jay Grice. And Grayson Hallett on the left side. Pushes forward back to the 49. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Game clock is running. 9:20 left to play. OCS in no hurry. They've got the lead. But it's a 1-score lead as they lead it now by 8. Running play, trying to get to the near side is Curtin. He's wrapped up, dropped for a loss. Great play behind the line of scrimmage there by Jared Perry. He's played a fine game tonight for Pauls Valley.
Great job defensively. He's had an interception and some big tackles. And that a big play because it was 3rd and 3. You gain a yard, you might go for it. Now 4th and 5 with Pauls Valley and all the momentum. It'll be interesting to see if they quick kick this or if they go ahead and try to pick this up. If they try to pick it up and don't get it, that could be a big play in this game.
Still plenty of time on the play clock. You can bet they're going to try to draw them off sides at least once, if not twice.
Now Pauls Valley sends Perry back. I guess they're keen on some sort of signal for what is going to be the quick kick, and there it is.
Good kick. Going to pick it up on the run. Slips the tackle. Makes another guy miss and gets it out across the 20-yard line.
Got the can of corn bounce right in his lap. Was able to make the first guy miss, so tell you what, OCS was able to run about 4 minutes off the clock, but unable to get across midfield, and Pauls Valley has the ball with a chance to tie.
It's a pretty good field position.
You bet.
Referee has the play clock running. Game clock will start with the snap of the football. Grimmett takes the snap. Here comes the slant over the middle and intercepted.
Kubicek in there, never saw the safety. Kubicek read that route from the get-go, and he was waiting on the ball. And again, the big play, the turnover, kills Pauls Valley. They're right in this game. So now it's like OCS picked up that 4th down, and they're right on driving.
That's a
killer.
It was very easy to read. I mean, you could see that almost coming. As soon as you looked to where he was wanting to throw the football and looking at all the defenders that were there.
He stared that receiver down, too, for sure. There was only one receiver on that side, and as soon as he snapped it, he looked directly to his left.
Threw that way and had it taken away.
Quick turnaround here. Pauls Valley defense up to the task on 1st down, only giving up a yard to Kennard. But, Steve, I'll tell you what, there's a cramp there for Kennard. It's going to be, can Pauls Valley deal with the quick change? As Kennard limps off on his own power, but looks like a cramp, so they'll bring Curtin in to replace him at the running back slot.
See, that's how we always got rid of cramps back in the day. You just walked it off and you got out of the game. Now they stop play for, 5 minutes, and the trainer comes out and they stretch it and do that on the sidelines. OCS takes a timeout, but of course it's all in the best interest and the welfare of the athlete, and that is the main concern. Believe me, I understand that. It's my disclaimer.
I think that timeout was because when Curtin came on, Kubicek was coming off. Kubicek didn't realize he needed to stay on, so I think that timeout to make sure they have the right personnel, get everything under wraps. Also, if Kennard stretches that cramp out because of the timeout, he can return for the next play.
Well, he's on the sidelines and doesn't seem to be working it out. It seems as though it's worked itself
out.
Yeah.
Man, surprised Pauls Valley didn't go back to the ground there on that first play. You've been methodical. You've owned the ball possession in the second half. You've kind of owned the tempo. To give the ball away like that quickly, even if you get a stop here, that's just you kind of controlled the second half of the ball game, and for the first time, they let that control slip.
Yeah, you make the defensive stop, you get the football back, everybody's excited, and the first pass is picked off. Running play, actually play action, now going to throw it downfield. And he threw it behind him. Couldn't get it there as he tried to get it to Chapman. Stops the clock, most importantly, and you kind of have to wonder how come they're not just running the ball and working off some more clock. 7:27 to play. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining.
Had his man open. Looked like he was trying to guide it in there because he was so open. Kind of shot put it almost. And sometimes you just got to let the thing go and trust the arm.
3rd and 7.
You're a baseball guy. It's kind of like when you're trying to aim it for a strike, you leave it over the plate rather than just rearing back and letting the thing go.
Pass downfield. Has a man wide open, but couldn't get separation quick enough. And he overthrew it. Incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down and 7. Receiver wanted a flag on the play.
He certainly had his man beat. Ben Smith had gotten behind the receiver. It's the 3rd time Ben Smith's been behind the corner. Remember, that's the second one was overthrown, and, of course, he had the big drop earlier. So 4th down. Boy, this would be huge for Pauls Valley. Get a 3 and out and still maintain good field position.
You got to think they're going to kick this away, don't you?
You think so? Man, they're so close. I kind of think they're going to go for it. Nope, you're right. You win. You always do.
A high short kick. I don't know about that.
That's really good. Inside the 12, I believe. Let's see where he spots it. That was an old Saturday Night Live skit.
9-yard line is they will start their drive. Their possession begins with 7:14 left to go here in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time. Both teams still with 2 timeouts remaining.
That was big for Pauls Valley. That was an opportunity there off a turnover, short field that OCS could have all but put this thing away. And it says a lot about the character of a Pauls Valley team. You got a bunch of guys going 2 ways. So they don't have any break. They just turn it over on the first play, and to come out and get a 3 and out right away, that's impressive.
Handoff goes to Harding, who gets out across the 10-yard line. He'll get about 3 on that carry, not much more.
Kind of knew that was coming after the first play of the last drive, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you need to be crazy here, but if you're the Pauls Valley coaches with the clock running in high school, you've got to keep it on the clock. You probably got to figure you're going to definitely get this possession and one more. So while you want to be conservative, not turn it over deep, you got to make sure that you give yourself enough room that if you do have to punt it away, that you don't get pinned deep again. Kind of the time of the game where you have to decide, if we get a 1st down or 2, maybe we're going for it versus giving it back.
2nd down and 8. Grimmett dropping the throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Keeps his feet. Going to be caught from behind and drugged down. Good defensive play by Jake Rice. He'll pick up about 4 yards on the carry, and that'll bring up 3rd and... Well, they're not going to give him that much, actually. Be about 3rd and 6. Maybe gave him 2 on the play.
It's 3rd and 5.
Clock goes under 6 minutes now. 3rd and 5. Big play coming up here for the Panthers. Grimmett gets the call. Play clock down to 5. Takes the snap. Looking to throw. Rolling left. Down the middle. Has a man wide open. Pass caught. First down.
Dropped.
And then it's stripped on the way down.
Are they going to rule that a catch?
I think they are.
He caught it and went around him, and he made a football move. He certainly turned upfield. I mean, that's a football move. And he get back on it. Boy, what a great play. That was Tyler Thompson who made the great catch on the scoring drive earlier in the game, and excellent job. Grimmett just throwing it to an open spot on the field, and Tyler Thompson did a great job stopping his route in the middle of the zone, coming back to the football, making the catch. Gets on top of it, and, man, that's a huge play for Pauls Valley. Now you're probably in go-for-it zone as you need to score on this drive.
Yeah, 5:19 left. Clock is running. 1st and 10. Give to Harding.
There he goes.
Right side, and that's going to be good for 7-8 yards. Seems like he's almost automatic for that now. Big play.
The good news for OCS is they can't lose, right? A 2-point conversion only ties the game, and they have to get a 2-point conversion on the touchdown, but a long way to go. But I think that Pauls Valley, with the amount of time on the clock and 2 possessions, 2 timeouts, you're pretty close to being in a situation where if you pick up this first down, you got to try to score. I mean, it's 4-down territory.
Yeah. Quarterback draw. Grimmett keeps it. Got the first down.
Good play call.
Gets it out to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Panthers. 4:22. They haven't stopped the clock yet, which surprises me a little. First down, and it's rolling.
It's the home scorekeepers. That's a great play call. We haven't seen that play call yet. OCS has done the majority of their pressure off of the edges. So nice job there by Pauls Valley to use the aggression against the OCS defense. And we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Steve, early on this looked like this may be a blowout, and Pauls Valley's done a great job there as Grimmett, another quarterback draw.
Grimmett's going to pick up a couple yards on the play. We got a player down for OCS. 3:40 on the clock. Jeff Murray, the referee, was looking at the clock. I think he noticed it was running before, and I don't know if he's going to come over with some type of message for the scoreboard operator or what, but we do have an injured player down for OCS. Looks like it could be just cramps.
Yeah, he's looking at the clock, and he's going to have them say something up to the booth maybe. He's talking to a coach with a headset on who's now going to relay a message.
3:40 is on the clock right now.
And he's looking at the clock waiting for it to be changed. So my guess is we're going to have some time added, maybe 12 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, I would think at least. So the injured player has made it to his feet. It's number 51. That's Jake Rice, and we have called his name a bunch tonight. This one does not look like cramps as he's not putting any weight on that left foot.
Rice has 2 sacks tonight.
So that's not a good look.
34-50 now. It's a little too much time. Steve, it's our first week to give away a player of the week, and I don't want to cop out, but if Pauls Valley comes back to win this game, I mean, are we wrong to give it to the entire defense for the way they've played in the second half?
They have played very, very good.
Only given up, I believe, 2 first downs, if my count's correct, and got a 3-and-out after a turnover. I mean, they have stifled an OCS offense that moved it in the first half. They reset to 350, but it's running now.
2nd down and 6. Harding in the backfield. The quarterback is Grimmett.
If Pauls Valley plays this right, they could potentially not give the ball back to OCS.
Quick pass in the flat.
Good block. Another good block. Oh, they're going to get that for a hold, though.
Flag out on the field. Clock stops with 3:17 left to go here in the 4th quarter.
Over on the sideline, Thompson with the reception up the left side for a short gain.
Good crowd on hand here tonight. Fall has been in the air for, it's going to be holding against Pauls Valley, so they'll march this one back all the way on to the Panther side of the field. Just can't say enough about the weather, the way it's been, and get out and enjoy it. Nice, cool evening. Can't wait for those fall nights to be here, that's for sure. 2nd and 13 is the call. Again, both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Grimmett takes the snap. Here comes the rush off the edge.
Screen, they've got it.
And Harding is hit, and he's going to be taken down. Good defensive play by the Saints.
I'll tell you what, the screen was there, but a great job by 65, Crew Hogue, to get to the quarterback. And you saw Grimmett kind of delay, and that extra second to get that ball off was what allowed the pursuit to come up. If Harding's able to catch that and turn up field before the pressure, he probably wins that one-on-one battle with a juke. But because of the pressure, tackler Bobby Chapman got there right away. And, boy, with 2.5 minutes to go, if you don't pick this up, what do you do?
3rd and 14, you got to go for it this late now. I mean,
I think so
there's
too.
no looking back. Here
Pressure.
And he's going to be dropped in the backfield.
And fumble.
Coming off the edge.
And OCS got it.
And it is OCS football. They got the sack on the blitz and then recovered the fumble.
Blake Curtin off the edge. We've called his name a ton of times on defense with the cornerback blitzes. He gets free there. And OCS with the ball at the 41. Paul's Valley with 2 timeouts, so OCS will have to pick up a first down, but that play right there may have wrapped up my player of the game vote for Blake Curtin.
He's done a great job this evening.
I think he's had about 70 yards or so in total offense. 2 sacks, a forced fumble.
Caught a pass or 2, right?
Yes.
A touchdown pass, right? Yeah, the first one.
I thought that was Fritz on the first one, 12. Anyway.
Okay. No, I got Fritz for a touchdown too, but before
gotcha.
that, I had Fritz on the second one. Now the ball is loose again. First player there pointed out that OCS still had it. Nobody's reacting as though there's a change of possession. Now that does stop the clock. So it's a simple loss of yards, and they've stopped the clock. And Pauls Valley wants to question that last play. 2:04 left on the game clock. 24-16. Pauls Valley is battled back. Timeout has been taken by Pauls Valley. That's why the stoppage in play. Scoreboard shows 2:04 left to go in the timeouts. 1 left now for Pauls Valley. 2 still remain for OCS.
Well, Pauls Valley needs another stop. So it's second down. You've got 1 timeout left, so that's 1:58. Third down, you run 30. The problem is they don't start the play clock until the ball's set. So you got to figure best case scenario, you get it back with 45 seconds. Be about my guess.
Yeah.
Maybe a minute best case.
Both teams return to the field. And the Saints come to the line of scrimmage, looking at a second down and 12 from the Pauls Valley 43-yard line. They're not concerned so much about scoring as just keeping the ball alive, keeping the clock rolling. Here's a running play by Halverson, and he'll pick up about 4 yards. They stop the clock. The final timeout for Pauls Valley with 1:54 remaining.
So if you tackle him with 1:45 left, it takes him 10 to 15 seconds to set the ball. So you got to figure the snap will happen between 1:15 and 1 minute to go for fourth down.
Let's take a timeout, as they do as well. We'll return with an exciting finish sure to happen right here on Game Time on YurView.
Because an open road is always calling your name. Because life is sweet. Because every moment counts. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money. With convenient services that help you maximize the joys in life. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Back to the action here at Saint Stadium. OCS with the football, leading at 24-16. Minute 54 left to go in the ball game. Pauls Valley is out of timeouts. Big 3rd and 6 coming up here. Handoff to Kennard. He'll fight forward. He'll get to the 35-yard line. They cannot stop the clock now. It is 4th down.
So how long does the ref wait to start the play clock here?
It'll probably be a good...
It's going to be, so they're going to get it back right around, and here we go. So Snap has to happen with 1:05 on the clock. So if they punt it, I mean, I think I just punt it here. I think I punted out of the back of the end zone. Don't even give him a chance to return it, make him go 80 yards.
I think they're going to let this go all the way down to 1 and then call timeout.
Yeah, you're probably right. Or even take the delay game to give you more room to punt it if you want.
True that.
Yep, they're going to take the delay game. Sure are. So they're going to punt it for sure.
So it will go down to 1:02 left. And barring any penalty or turnover, it looks as though Pauls Valley will get an opportunity to go the length of the field in less than a minute with no timeouts remaining. They haven't struck me as a hurry-up type team all night long. Both these teams have been kind of, I don't want to say slow about their approach, but slow to what we're compared to these days with everybody else running at such a furious and frantic pace. 4th and 9. You would think a punting situation that they would stand back a little further than what they are. They've been using that quick kick all night long. It's been dangerous. High short kick.
Got to yell Peter here, and they do. Don't touch it. Oh, just let it. The clock. I mean, the clock's better than the 3 yards.
Right.
Could have got another 7 or 8 seconds out of that.
So now 1 minute, 1 second left to go in regulation time here, and Pauls Valley will have the football at their own 24-yard line, needing a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it up.
The home scorekeeper, Steve, not very friendly. That punt took 2 seconds off the clock. Something tells me it lasted a little longer. Well, week 1, our first week on the air, and we've got an exciting one. That's a good omen of things to come for the year ahead. Impressed with this Pauls Valley team, win or lose. The way that this game started, down 18-0, to battle back and have the ball with a chance to win, says a lot about them.
And here's Harding with some open field to run in. He's going to be spilled at about the 28-yard line.
So they had to be thinking that OCS would have 8 or 9 guys in coverage, there would be some room. Now you really got to hurry.
Again, no timeouts remaining. Clock down, under 40 seconds to play. Grimmett will take the snap, drop the throw. Pressured up the middle.
Got to get rid of it. You can't take a sack.
Now he's going to flee for the far sidelines, get out of bounds, get the first down, and stop the clock with 27 seconds to play.
So realistically, they've got to pick up another 10, probably 20 yards to give themselves a chance at the end zone. 20 to 25 yards.
Least,
probably got to be at least to the 40 would be my guess. That's 25 yards.
Back at the line of scrimmage. Pauls Valley out of timeouts. Grimmett takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. Up the middle, going deep.
Got a man. Oh!
Just beyond the receiver's touch and grab. Defensive play there by Ben Smith.
Man, that was perfectly timed because he was pretty close to being there a smidge too soon. Thompson had his hands out, and it looked like they came down right as the ball got there. Man, that was a good throw and a good attempt.
Surprised that he got that open as he did downfield.
And you think there'd be 2 safeties back.
Yep. There are now if there weren't before. 2nd down and 10, 20 seconds left.
The screen pass might work here to...
Grimmett steps up, fires, incomplete. Threw it behind the intended receiver on the far side, number 13, Dalton Morse.
And that would have been a perfect type completion. Middle of the field, the clock stops. That would have got him down to the 45. That was the exact route they need, some sort of 15 to 18-yard in route. With the way the clock stops and the play clock not starting to the ball set, you have time for 2 plays over the middle, especially with the ability to spike the ball.
14 seconds remain, 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. Harding in motion, coming to the near side. He's going to serve as a decoy. They're going to dump it over the middle. Pass is caught, player is dropped, and I don't even see how they can get another play off.
Nope, 3, 2, and 1.
That'll do it. Ball game comes to an end. Our final score here tonight, Oklahoma Christian holds on. They win it by a final of 24-16. Your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. Game time on YurView. We'll come back with our wrap-up for you right after this timeout.
It's the Great American Ford Sales Event, offering 0% for 60 months on the brand with the highest owner loyalty. America's best-selling brand and the best in Oklahoma. Plus, all first responders, active duty, and military veterans get $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all current offers. Like 0% financing for 60 months on all Ford cars, plus $1,000 appreciation cash. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Oklahoma. It's in our name. We are Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. We're here when skies are blue and when you need us most. We are where you are, with offices in all 77 counties. From our urban streets to our winding country roads, we've been protecting Oklahoma since 1946, so you can focus on what really matters. We're the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Christian. Final score again, the Saints hold on. They get the victory by a final score of 24-16. They got out, led it early. Looked like it might be an easy contest for them, but give the Travelers, the Panthers from Pauls Valley, a lot of credit. They hung in there. They battled back, had a couple of opportunities. When they had the ball, all they needed to do was score and get the two-point conversion, and they would have tied this thing up after trailing by 3 touchdowns early in the contest. So OCS wins it. They even their record at 1-1 as they defeat Pauls Valley. Pauls Valley falls to 0-2 in the season. Again, our final score 24-16.
Yeah, the big play and the turnover, the name of the game, the story tonight. OCS was able to get out on top because of those. Pauls Valley battled back, and I think the interception there after, as Pauls Valley was trying to move it to tie the game, they could never really quite regain the momentum, and then OCS just holds on and gets the win they need.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back, and we'll have our Mazio's MVP of the game. That's still to be decided. We'll have that for you when we come back.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
Because an open road is always calling your name. Because life is sweet. Because every moment counts. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money. With convenient services that help you maximize the joys in life. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Hungry for pizza? Pick a pair. Mazio's medium one-topping pizzas are only $6.50 each. Pick your 2 favorite hot, fresh medium one-topping pizzas and get both for only $6.50 each. So go ahead, pick a pair. Only at Mazio's.
Welcome back once again. 24-16, our final score. Oklahoma Christian is victorious tonight over Pauls Valley in a well-fought ball game. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Don't forget you can catch all the replays on YurView when we bring you these games on Gametime. Well, we have to pick our Mazio's MVP of the game, and it came down to a couple of different names, but in the end, we decided on Jackson Kennard. He's our Mazio's MVP of the night, Brian.
2 interceptions, 1 returned 74 yards for a touchdown. That ended up being the game-winning touchdown. In the second half, with the injury to the starting running back, Kennard comes in and has the bulk of the carries. The sophomore stepping up big in a victory tonight for the Saints.
All right, so that'll conclude our webcast here this evening. Don't forget, next week we'll be at Christian Heritage. It'll be Mount St. Mary and the Crusaders from Christian Heritage. For Brian Burchell, for Bobby Rose, for Mark Jeffries, and the rest of the crew. Hope you all enjoyed it this evening. We'll see you next week, everybody. So long.